Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Professor T-Rex and today we're going to have an AMA with the CEO of Monsta Infinite. And I feel so excited and of course honored and nervous at the same time guys because this is the first time that I'm gonna host an AMA. So I'm hoping that everything will just go smoothly. So I'm just waiting for the CEO to enter our session. So let's wait for a while. And yeah, there he is. Let's start. Today, this is a very special day because we are going to have an AMA with the CEO of Monsta Infinite. I have here with me Mr. Jintan. Hi, sir. Thank you so much for being here with us, especially to my community. I know you are very busy, but thank you so much for giving your time and making yourself available for us. So I guess we should now start. First, can you please introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, Professor T-Rex. ¿Cómo está, Philippines? Hi, I'm Jin. Okay, a bit of introduction of myself. I'm 26 this year, and then I'm the CEO of Monsta Infinite. And a bit of background story of my own. I'm half Malaysian, half Singaporean. My mother is Singaporean and my father is Malaysian. And then actually, Monsta Infinite is about play to earn, right? I started play to earn at my age of 8 or 9, I guess, when I play this game called Maple Story. Have you heard of Maple Story?
Not really.
Okay, never mind. Maple Story is a really great game. Okay, I think most of the Singaporeans or Malaysians will know about this game. And then why do I call it play to earn? It's not because of there is blockchain in the game or what, but there's marketplace that we can trade stuff. And then normally what we do is we don't just trade in game. We will actually all those epic items, right? We will actually sell it off market that we sell in Singapore dollar for that. So that's how I started this play to earn. And then at the time, it's also this game that educates me onto trading, onto economy. And at the time I played this game, I started to realize what is inflation, start to realize about the problem of games. Or like these conventional games, right? All of them that has this problem is this centralized problem, which is they can actually control the money supply of the game. So right now, maybe your game item is like super strong. You can sell like tons of money, but after like in not even 2 years or maybe in a half a year or a year, your item has no value at all. That's a very big problem in the gaming industries. So because items doesn't preserve value, but players spend thousands or millions of dollars in the game, and then they get nothing in return besides just the gaming experience. Yeah, so that's the first thing that the earliest stage that I actually got to play to earn. Then later on, I actually studied in Bachelor of Computer Science. There's the place that I met my CTO right now, Hong Kong. And also, it's that time that I come to know about Bitcoin, blockchain. At the time, I still don't know about blockchain much. It's still more on Bitcoin. Actually, my first cryptocurrency is actually Ethereum. One of my schoolmates, my uni mates, actually told me that, hey, I just realized this really cool stuff that you can actually make money out of thin air. Then I was like, whoa, what's that? Okay, can you say because I'm kind of hardcore gamer, so we actually all have graphic cards, pretty good graphic cards. So they say just by using your graphic cards, the time I still remember that I still recall I was using a GTX 1060, okay, and I'm able to do mining Ethereum at a rate of I guess I don't too remember, but it's around 2 to 3 Ethereum per month. That's like 2 to 3 Ethereum sounds a lot, right now.
Yeah.
But at the time, at the moment, Ethereum was just $30, $30 to $40. So that's how I started, how I got interested. Gina Pek lah. Okay, what Gina Pek means Chinaman means whenever I see a money opportunity, I really get really excited. Then I started to go into this stuff and I see, wait, this Bitcoin thing, why is it possible to make money just like this?
Yeah.
So, but the more I delve into blockchain itself, I started to realize that blockchain is it's more than just making money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that is decentralized. It's so cool that it will change the world. I really seriously believe it will change the world, especially DeFi. DeFi is like talking about blockchain style first. I think blockchain is one of the largest invention, technology that will change the world in terms of the economic structure, which right now everyone knows that capitalists rules the world and the disparity between the rich and the poor is getting larger and larger. So blockchain kind of solves this thing because I think a lot of people realize that Bitcoin is much more famous, popular in areas like developed countries. For example, like right now, Axie, the largest community is Philippines, right? So a lot of people benefited from it. But if in commercial market, there isn't chance like this. There isn't chance like this. So I started to be really interested in the blockchain. I think it's something that can change the world. Mm-hmm. And slowly, I also started the software development house with my CTO. We started to build some projects, and then some fail. Okay, some fun projects that we play around. Like we actually fork Bitcoin, we fork Litecoin, and then later on we also built some side chains of Ethereum. We actually try to clone Ethereum. We have big dreams. Then we try this and that. Later on, we also did help some companies. Like we actually help involve in a U aggregator and a DEX development, but we cannot disclose it, sorry, because we have signed NDA. So we did this thing, and then at the last year, we set up a DEX. DEX means decentralized exchange. Mm-hmm. We have to set it up. Then my CTO actually had this idea that he thinks that the user experience in crypto is just so bad. It's just so bad. Normal people come to crypto, they will feel that it's so difficult to use.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. Everything is so different, like MetaMask or anything. You make transaction, you have to go to BSC scan, go to HES scan to look for a transaction. It doesn't go through. You need gas fees, all this stuff. It's so complicated. Don't even talk about DEX, like PancakeSwap, like Uniswap, which you actually, there's things like liquidity pool. What's the liquidity pool? Most of people wouldn't understand about it. And then there's things like farms, pools. What are those, right? It's so difficult. It's so tough. So he actually got this idea about, we actually should gamify blockchain itself, gamify all these DeFi applications in order to make everyone to understand it better, easier to come into the area of blockchain, industry of blockchain. So he had the idea, but up to this year, the month of February, we actually come to look at Axie. And then, to be frank, Axie can say that it's kind of like our competitor right now, but I would say that it is the inspiration of us. So we think that that's really great. It actually fits what we meant. It helps to educate the major public about blockchain in a really easy way. Mm-hmm. And the concept of play to earn is so interesting that it's like the childhood dream of every guy or a gamer. Okay, I don't say guy. Okay, I agree. Because at my age, my young age, most girls don't play game. Okay, so it's like the dream of playing game can actually make a living. And also from here, we actually see the opportunity of universal basic income. So we start to dive into play to earn. And then, we started planning and development of Monsta Infinite since April. And here we are. I'm here with you.
Finally.
Yep. Yeah, so I think I kind of answered the question. That's it. Oh, okay. A bit, maybe that's not in the question, but I saw some of the questions from the community, so I'd like to address as well. I did see some people actually mention about my age, our team. We are young. I'm 26, but I think age shouldn't be a problem, or should say that the younger I am, actually the better. But 26 isn't young, actually. 26 isn't young. You have to look at Bitcoin itself. Bitcoin is just 11 years old. It's even younger than Google. Can we say that Bitcoin is actually young and it's immature? It is not mature at all, not mature enough, okay? But it definitely is a really good technology. And we can see founders out there, right? Vitalik started Ethereum at the age of 19. Like Mark Zuckerberg started Facebook at the age of, I don't know, maybe 20 or 31.
Around.
So I don't think that's a problem here. Actually, you should, when you look at founders, I guess the younger they are, the better it is. It's just like making an example here is looking at a person at the age of 70 using smartphone, at the age of 15 using smartphone. Who do you think will be better at smartphones? Right? It's definitely the 15. Now, so this is the first thing that I want to address about the age. And second thing, I also seen some questions about our professional profile. Okay, I think we didn't actually put up the LinkedIn part onto it because personally myself, I have no LinkedIn. I've never. It's just I don't have it because I didn't work out there, and then I started my own thing directly. And then in crypto world, actually, you don't really need LinkedIn that much. Okay, so but my CTO Hong Kong does have it. You can see it, you can Google it, you can find it. And my creative director don't have LinkedIn, but later on, I will actually put up his personal profile, his personal website. Okay, he has a personal website to introduce his work, his past graphic works onto the white paper. Later on, we will do it. So, and also one thing is I want to clarify is, I think investors sometimes you shouldn't really look at the face of the project. The face of people is important.
Yes.
Do you see, are they dogs? Doxing is kind of important because, for example, I'm doxing right now. Why do I do so? Because I want to tell everyone, tell my fellow beloved community that we are serious. We are willing to bet our reputation on this. We will put all our dedication onto this project. But I don't want, for example, this AMA, I don't want you, after you watch this AMA, thinks that, oh, you looks like a reliable person. Then I put my money into the Monsta Infinite. I don't wish that to happen because what I wish is everyone could actually look at the product itself because I could lie. People can lie, but the product doesn't lie. A good product is a good product. A bad product is a bad product. It speaks for itself. So we have seen scenario like this, like, no offense, but like Elon Musk, like John McAfee. People actually believe them and they put their hard-earned money into it. So believing or trusting a person just to make an investment is just really dangerous. Yeah. So that's about me.
I agree. So it's not really about, it's not just about the people behind the project. It's really about the project, So people should really invest because they see a potential in the project, not just because, they find the people behind it reliable, but that's also a factor. But, they should really look at the project itself, not just the person behind. And okay, thank you so much, Sergio, for that introduction. I've got so much information about you. Okay, how about our first question? Okay, this is it. As a game, it is best to have a unique identifying quality rather than just being a copycat. Further, you might be able to beat other games like Axie in other areas of the games that are not introduced yet, like land gameplay and mini games. Now, how is your vision different from Axie creators? Oh, I'm sorry. I guess your audio, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. You're muted. What happened? You're muted.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay. All right. I can hear you now.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. It's good now.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, you want to repeat the question or I just answer it?
Okay, you can just answer.
Okay. I think a lot of game, I think a lot of ideas happen to be the same. A lot of projects out there happen to have the same idea. But I don't think as us as a copycat, we actually clearly clarify that we are actually taking the inspiration from Axie.
Mhm.
So, but card battle games is actually pretty common out there. Isn't a
Yeah.
new thing. That's like even like Final Fantasy have it. There are like a lot of it out there. When it comes to graphics itself, I think you can see it by yourself that it might kind of some people might get the same vibes, but it's definitely different thing. If we want to talk about similar graphic feelings, then we might say Pokemon is the same as well.
Yeah.
So, but we did all our work from scratch. We design our work and our gameplay, everything is from scratch. And what is my vision? Before talking about vision, I wanted to say that we did take something from Axie. We did take it something, especially on the economical stuff. We actually took that. The reason is because we want to do something based on a successful model, especially on NFT game, right? Isn't like normal conventional game that you can actually create something, and then when you create something, if it fails, it doesn't matter much because when it fails, it's just about the game developer failing. Others people playing the game doesn't matter much. But when it comes to NFT game, if we try to create our own economy model, and if it fails, a lot of people actually suffer. Masters of play will be suffer. We can see that scenario right now. Actually, there are a lot of NFT games out there that actually kind of try to create their own economy model, and a lot of them fail and fail terribly. So I think what should we do is actually the market standard, which we actually build or we improve on an existing successful model. Like you wouldn't design a smartphone in a triangle shape, right? You still do the normal market standards way, but you improve on it. So I think what we are doing here is we try to improve, modify, and be better. So yeah. And for the vision itself, vision of Monsta Infinite, I think it's more on universal basic income, I would say. That's the biggest thing to achieve. Because to me, I think no matter if one day Monsta Infinite is really successful, but if it couldn't help people, I think there's no meaning at all. Because in this world, successful shouldn't be defined by how much money you actually make, but how much people you actually help. I think that's our team vision of Monsta Infinite.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that line when you said it's not really about how much you earn, but how much, how many people you are able to help. Okay, thank you for that. How about the next question, second. You've been claiming that the game is Axie inspired. Don't you think this claim might lead to copyright issue in the future?
I think some ideas, as I say, some ideas happen to be similar, but it's not legally wrong. We did everything ourselves. We built everything from scratch. And we have actually consulted our legal advisor. Yeah, there's nothing wrong there. My sister herself is a professional IP lawyer, and we have our own legal advisor. Yeah.
Okay,
everything
so it's
original.
really safe from
What's to do
copyright.
with copyright issue, right?
And yeah, people should also take note that it's just Axie inspired, not really the same with Axie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
How
to
about
say
the
that, could you say Mobile Legends is copying League of Legends and then they have copyright issue?
yeah, there's no issue in that. Okay. How about the next one, Sir Jin? What makes Monsta different from Axie, and what features are you proud of Monsta that other NFT games don't have? I like this one also.
When it comes to game NFT, especially an NFT game, I think the most important thing isn't that how many playable features do we have. Isn't that because if you want to play something really fun, you wouldn't come to an NFT game to be honest. Because most NFT game right now is still like PS2 era, where 2D game graphics. If you want to play a really fun game, why don't you go to like The Witcher, GTA 5, such things, right? Much more fun. But NFT game is about earning and playing together. So when it comes to earning and playing together, I think balancing the gameplay, the economy would be the largest thing to do. And that's what we are trying to solve the most. If you look at our white paper, we actually mentioned about that quite a lot, talking about how do we balance the skill play. I mean, the competitive player, how do they are able to actually beat richer player instead of just maybe if you are rich, you are always having the best team. You are unchallengeable. Nope. That's why we're adding the puzzle in. And puzzle here is not Candy Crush. I want to clarify. Some people thought it's Candy Crush. It's not Candy Crush. You can look up Puzzle and Dragons. It's a bit similar. Okay, we share the same concept. So another part is about how you control, how you balance the economy of the supply and demand of the tokens. That's where we come up with augmentation. Augmentation is which requires Monsta to as a sacrificial offerings. So from here, you actually let me make an example. If we actually don't have upgrading, we don't have augmentation, people actually rich player, they buy really, really good Monster. Right? Then they will stay at the PvP rank, top PvP rank for a really long time. They don't have to spend. They keep earning. When they keep earning and they don't have a reason to spend, right? What would they do? They will dump it. They definitely dump the tokens, sell it, cash out to buy a Lambo, right? Because there isn't thing in game, there isn't a reason for them to get stronger. Yes. So that's why we have this augmentation, which people have to constantly get stronger. As you actually keep dropping in rank. Yeah, I think that kind of this kind of balancing is the thing that we are really that's what we think is we are different from other NFT games that actually only just emphasize on gameplay itself or the features. No, we don't think that's the thing to emphasize that much, but balance.
Yeah, I like that part. I've read that in the white paper. There is really an emphasis on the balancing of the economy of the game. It's really important to have that.
Yes. Because to add up a bit, because the disparity of wealth is always happen when the rich have nothing to spend. In reality world, it's the same as well. When you see a rich guy actually buy fancy stuff to show off, right? It's actually good. It's actually good. Sorry to say, because they're actually spending the money, and this money will actually go to companies. Companies will actually hire people. People have jobs to do. Then there's a cycle there. But if people with a lot of money, they just stack up all those monies, and then they don't spend.
Yeah.
Then that's a really serious issue here. So in game, we also have these two different features on this creating demand. One part of it is, besides augmentation, one part of it is we are going to have a lot of cosmetics. All these cosmetics, which is people just to buy in order to kind of show off in game, showing some fancy skins, fancy stuff. Another part is part of our vision in Monsta Infinite is not just competitive play, not just battle. We wish there are leisure play as well. So I look at our open world. It's more on leisure play. I'm not sure do you guys actually play this game called RuneScape. RuneScape is actually a great game, a great browser game back in the days. So you can actually do fishing, you can do farming, anything you like. You can go and mining ores. But what we are doing here is not fishing, farming, or this, but crafting. We'll be doing crafting, and inspired by Minecraft, we will allow designer to integrate in they can design their own stuff. Okay. I think a lot of people wouldn't understand, but I try to explain a bit. It's like you have these pixels, okay, pixels of blocks, and designer can actually using these pixels to actually build their stuff, to design their stuff, and then they can craft it. By crafting, you actually require STT, you require STT, and also require money to craft it. When you craft it, you can sell to anyone you like, or anyone that like the crafted product. So from here, we actually increase a lot of demand on the token itself.
Well, at least we can apply our creativity on crafting. That's nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So it's really good to create supply and demand. Having wine.
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit nervous. You can see it from the speed of speaking.
I don't look nervous. Okay, how about the next one, Jin? How can you assure the players that there is sustainability in this project that will keep this project a long-term source of income? You know, this is one of their concerns.
A lot of people actually misunderstood sustainability in the way that how many tokens are given to the players.
Yeah.
But instead, what's important here is about the price of it. Because, like for example, STT worth nothing. Then but it's so easily acquired. People keep getting STT everywhere. Are you going to have enough earnings for basic living? Isn't the case, right? So the important thing here is the price, the value. How do you preserve it? How to preserve it and appreciate in value?
Okay.
That's the thing. So how do we do it? We do it by just now a lot of talking about the balancing. How do we increase demand? You can definitely read it in our white paper. Yeah. So I think that's the way that how we assure the sustainability.
Okay, it's all clear now. It really makes sense. Thank you. How about the next question? And NFT games these days have encountered challenges, right? Especially on stability that resulted to the drop of the price of their token. So what measures are you willing to take to help the users who are relying on the price of the token to earn profit in the long run?
Back to thing, you see just now I mentioned that gaming features isn't the important thing because you see most people actually worried about on the price, the earning opportunity in the game, the sustainability. So it's all about balance. How do we balance the supply and demand? So it's still the same answer. How do we increase the demand? As I mentioned, actually augmentation itself, which requires sacrificing Monsta, has addressed, I think, have solved most of the issue here. Because, and especially, people might say, if you have like a mechanism like augmentation, right, where some monsters keep getting stronger and stronger, then would there people that has not enough funds or late into the game, unable to make substantial income to actually involve, and then they're unable to earn that much? No, not the case. Because our PvE is a fixed supply. Okay, I mean, every day you can, by finishing the PvE levels, you actually gain a fixed supply of the STT. Then for PvP, we have ranks. We have ranks mechanism. Actually, we written it in the white paper that people will be categorized into different ranks where you compete with people that's at almost the same level as you. So in different ranks, we have different rewards. So no matter how weak you are, don't say the weakest, okay? Don't talk about the weakest. But if you are relatively weak, you are still in a rank, then definitely you will get rewards. It's just lesser rewards.
Okay. All right. Very well explained. Thank you. How about the next one, Sir Jin? Does the buying and cloning, this one, of pets and monsters have limited number? And if there is, how many? And can we also limit the monsters that we can buy as players per account so that we can also give chances to others?
Does the buying and cloning of pets number? Okay. The cloning count, there's a cloning count for every monster itself. That's limited. And for us, I think the controlling, I mean, a lot of people was thinking about will monster keep increase, the price will keep appreciate. And later on will happen the case that people aren't able to buy anymore because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
We could play unable to come into the game. But I think that issue we also already addressed it. Sometimes people would think that, can you keep the price low forever? That shouldn't be the case. As I mentioned, when it comes to NFT gaming, when it comes to blockchain, crypto project, we must actually reward early adopters. If early adopters, they come into the game taking more risk, for example, we are on pre-sale right now. We are offering our Inception Monster. Buying right now is actually taking up more risk.
Mm-hmm.
These people that willing to take more risk must be rewarded better. So if Monster, everything isn't increasing in price forever, then how are these people making money, right? Nobody would actually want that because you are taking more risk, but you are still taking the same reward as later players. So how do we solve this issue is by the same thing. How do you control the supply and demand only?
Mm-hmm.
By augmentation, they are a strong demand on the monster itself. So the supply isn't an issue anymore. So which us, the dev teams, we can constantly keep supplying new monsters, normal monsters, batch by batch into the market at a lower price. And then we will have mechanism that we ensure that people already have monsters couldn't buy these new batches of monster. That's one thing. Another thing is definitely scholar system. Scholar system, it has been using a few places, but I think besides scholar would be the thing that I mentioned just now about how do we keep supplying monster to the market and not hurting the market economics. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, how about this one, Jin? Okay, another issue of the community. Why does the tokens listing on exchanges take a while after the pre-sale as indicated in the roadmap? Can't it be listed right away after the pre-sale?
Okay, that's an interesting question. First of all, really thank you, the overwhelming community. The response is crazy. Everyone like this. Because of that, everyone thinks that our token will straight so off once we are open. Our pre-sale will directly finish. So straight away finish. But I think previously when I never thought of that it's so hot right now in the market. But that's the first reason. The second reason is because we are engaging with different exchanges. So all these exchanges require some time to actually integrate our stuff and then go through everything we have. We're negotiating with a few right now. Yeah. So it's better to have some bubble time over here. That's the first thing. And the second thing is we're actually rushing all of timeline. So after the pre-sale, let's say if we are able to release more stuff, like marketplace, everything, like for example, the game, we can have alpha test, everything earlier. That would be a really strong booster of the price itself. When listed, we wish that it will be a lot more than it's a sell on the pre-sale price.
Okay. Yep, and this will also benefit the early adopters, right?
Yes. Oh, something to address it also. Some people say that we take really long time to get to listing, get to game launch. There's one common mistake most NFT game project that we've seen right now. A lot of games, they actually rush their game and then they actually launch their game and their token together. When they rush it together, there isn't good news anymore. Like launching the game is one of the largest, the best news out there. Then there isn't good news anymore. So definitely there might be some dumping. But if we plan it part by part, releasing part by part, there actually demand coming in, much more people knowing us. Yes. For example, now, much more people slowly knowing us. Then that creates the demand. Because if not people know, not enough people knowing the pre-sale, I mean the game itself, then who is going to buy after the pre-sale, after the listing? There isn't anyone buying, right? They also don't know, what is this project? What should I buy? So that's one part on the reason why we actually release things slowly. Even we are able to do it fast, we will still choose it to do it slowly.
Which I really agree. Actually, when I joined the Telegram, there was no website yet, and then there were only around 2,000 members that time before the website was launched. And by the time the website was almost launched, it almost reached 8,000 members, and now we already have around 18,000 in Telegram. So imagine how much growth of the community we had in just a matter of days. And that's
one more thing to address is people will be thinking that what if I can't buy the pre-sale? If you keep marketing for so long, right? There's so many people coming in. I think there's always give and take. You would want to invest in a project that you can guarantee to get the pre-sale, but the price isn't guaranteed to appreciate. Or you want to buy a pre-sale that you might not get it, but because of demand is so huge, it's going to be pumping crazy when it's listed. So what would you choose? Want the guaranteed stuff or the unguaranteed stuff?
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. We have here a bonus question for our last question here. If you are going for a holidays vacation, something personal with your family, what are the top 3 places you want to visit here in Southeast Asia?
Okay, I'm a Singaporean and Malaysian both, so I wouldn't want to stay here. Okay, definitely. Then there are just like 10 more Southeast Asia country. I think first of all, I'll definitely go to Philippines. Because I've been to Manila for work issues, for travel. Manila isn't a very good place for travel. Sorry, but work okay because the traffic jam. The traffic jam is like wow. I think the worst traffic I've been to because when it's jam, right, I can open the window, I can touch those motorcyclists, and but the people there are the best, really friendly. I feel really welcoming. And there are also a lot of places in the Philippines that are really good scenery, like the beach. Yeah. So Philippines is definitely one of it. The second one, I think, would be Indonesia. Indonesia also is very cultural. Very cultural, and there's a lot of great scenery to be seen over there. I think, and especially, I think Southeast Asia is like a hidden gem, unfound gem by most of the world. There are a lot of places that haven't been explored. Like in Philippines or Indonesia, both of them, they have so many good mountains, beach that haven't been explored. Yeah, these 2 places. The third one, I guess, would be Vietnam. Vietnam is cool as well, really cool. And Vietnam has been developing really, really fast. As I said, the last time I been to Vietnam is, I think, in 2 years ago. Every time I go to Vietnam, I see the difference. It's so fast over there. Everything is developing fast.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for answering the last question. And do you want to add more? Anything you want to say to the community?
Sorry that the AMA session today actually not performing really well because I'm a bit nervous because it's the first AMA for Monsta Infinite. But really thank you on all the support and interest on waiting for this AMA. We will love to say thank you, and we have a lot of community members. I mean, we have like moderators that helping us a lot, and then we have supporters, and we have like ambassadors. Really appreciate all this help. And in return, what we can do the least, I think, is to answer to the community more, which you can see that our moderators and us are actively answering questions. And one of the mission that we want to do is to have a 24/7 support to all the community and the players in the future. because we think in NFT game, without the community, without the players, you wouldn't success. And especially blockchain is about decentralization. The model is different. So which means that Monsta Infinite isn't belongs to me or my team. It actually belongs to everyone in the community right now, or every player in the future. Every player and every token holder. So thank you. Thank you once again. And one more thing that I forgot to add up is security-wise, because security is really important. And it's also something that I've seen recently that's happening a lot, because cryptocurrency isn't security friendly.
Yeah.
It's secure, but I mean, isn't security friendly in terms of people who don't know it, don't know how to protect themselves. So we will try our best to secure our players. Yeah.
I love that part about the security, and also the, what was the other one? The first one that you've mentioned? The support system, the 24/7 support, which are very important and which are also lacking in other, services or in other NFT games. And yeah, I've also read that in the white paper, there is really emphasis on the main problems that, the games right now are encountering. And it's really good that the team of Monsta Infinite really addressed those common problems. And I guess, this could give us confidence and assurance also that we are on the right community, on the right project. Okay, well,
we wish this to be a marathon instead of a sprint. We wish to make Monsta Infinite to be a 5 years, 10 years thing. I want all of the community members right now that's with us would have a bright future together with this, and we can help more people in the future as well.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to to see this NFT game a long-term project, with not just a short term, just after a year it's gonna, we don't want to lose this game actually, and a lot of people are very excited for the launching of this game. And yeah, you shouldn't really disappoint everyone, because everyone has really high expectations of this game, because they see really a potential that even during the pre-sale, a lot of people have been asking me because they really want to join. They are not skeptical at all. Most of them, they are not really skeptical or, having doubts of whether they should invest or not. They are very confident of the project.
But one thing to add up here is, I think skeptical is really important. I've seen so many people suffer out there that not being skeptical, not being careful enough in projects that they invest. Be very careful. Look, I think, as I say, most important is look at the product. You can see it by yourself actually. Is the team putting effort into it? Are they actually putting effort into making everything look the best? And every issue, did they address it? Did they listen from the community itself?
Anyway, aren't you pressured of the community is too large already? A lot of people are waiting for the pre-sale and launching of the game. Is there any pressure on the team?
I don't feel pressure at all, to be honest, because I feel it's a pleasure.
Oh.
It's my pleasure to have all this response. And you have to understand that we are not, we are doing this in order to help more people, and also to, if we have no audience, then would be really sad. But we see their overwhelming response means that we are kind of doing the right thing.
Yeah.
We are happy and we are glad of it.
That's it, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Jin. I hope that our viewers, our community, have learned a lot from the AMA, from this AMA. And
yeah. And one last thing, sorry if I didn't speak well, that maybe some people couldn't understand. Yeah, because of my lousy accent.
No, well, maybe you're just a bit fast, but it's okay. They could just repeat this anytime they want. That's it. Thank you so much for your time. I know you are very busy, and I really appreciate that you really made yourself available for us. And it's really an honor also to be, to host this one. This is the first AMA, and it's the AMA. And I didn't really expect that you would agree to my request. So thank you so much, Sir Jin. This is really a pleasure for me. And there are more AMAs to come, right? As
Yeah,
scheduled
yeah.
in your roadmap. So we will just wait also for your AMAs online. And yeah, we can assure you that we will give you our full support until this project reaches its peak of success. Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I guess uh, let's now end this video. Thank you so much for being here and have a great day, Sir Jin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
That's the end of our AMA with the CEO of Monsta Infinite, Mr. Jin Tan, and I hope that you've learned a lot from this AMA, guys. And really, there are so much to expect in this game. And I'm so happy that I was able to have this opportunity to talk with the CEO. And to those who want to join the Monsta Inception giveaway, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below and submit your entries using the link in the description of this video. All right? And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching and for waiting for this moment. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.